Hello there. My name is Candy Sith, and I have a secret. Shh. My little baby back there sleeping. I'm freaked out, okay? I am freaked out because I'm on camera for the first time. And I know you're looking at my fat face, and I don't like it. Not at all. Not at all. But I said I was going to do this to myself, and I'm going to do it. Anyway, so it is October, my favorite month of the year, and also the month that 1 year ago I found out I had cancer. And that's kind of what I'm here to talk about, my little cancer story, such as it is. And I'm playing some Sims 4 with it, so to kind of distract me from the fact that you're looking at my fat face and I do not like it. So yeah. Ugh. Anyway, let's get to it. So, oh, I gotta remember my key bindings. It's been a long time since I've played. Meow, meow, meow. It's been a long time since I've played Sims 4, so yeah, if I don't remember everything right off the bat, kind of forgive me. Build mode. Actually, yeah. Let's do a little, not music, master volume. Let's go down to, I don't know, hopefully 9 is comfortable. I should have done a test before getting into this, but I don't know. It's still a little bit uncomfortable for me. Okay. Yeah. We need to buy this cat some stuff. Not by room. I always like to sort by stuff, pets. So yeah, a year ago I found out I had cancer. Nobody wants to hear that. Especially when they're kind of young for it, which, as I gather, I was. I'm trying to remember my keybinds, but I don't. Whatever, let's just put it like that. My little bed, go upstairs. And about a cat tree for my little baby Katniss, who is sleeping behind me. So, for a year, I basically had some symptoms, and I won't go into what they were because it's a little TMI, but it wasn't even that big of a deal, or at least that's what I thought. Um, so for a year, I kind of hem-hawed around about it. I thought it was my diabetic medication, to be honest. And when I stopped taking my diabetic medication, it did go away for a while. So I thought, definitely that's it, And I kind of wish my doctor would just give me something to, like, solve the problem. But she told me to see a gastroenterologist, and I'm very grateful she did, even though I didn't go right away. What's the kitty doing? Ugh, for real? You gonna play me like that? No. Lecture about scratching. So, it got to a point where the symptom I was having wouldn't go away at all. So, I decided to go see the gastroenterologist. And I told him what the problem was, and he was going to test me for celiac disease, which damages your intestinal lining. You can't process, gluten. Lecture about scratching. Get off your duff and do it. Um, so I went, and he was going to test me for celiac disease, which entails a colonoscopy. It's a camera up your butt, in case you didn't know. And also an endoscopy, which goes down your throat. So they put me, the day came for that, and my mom took me. This was when COVID was starting to hit, so only she could go in. Let's Instagram our pet. Oh, heck yeah, baby. I don't know why they make you take 5. I don't want 5. But, yeah. Oh, whoa, what was that? Okay, so I'm nervous because I know you're looking at me and that just. But anyway, okay, so went to the gastroenterologist and he was going to test me for celiac, schedule my colonoscopy and my endoscopy at the same time. I go in, my mom's waiting in the waiting room, and they wheel me back, and the last thing I remember was looking at some machines, and then bam, I'm just gone. When I wake up half choking to death because when you do an endoscopy, they send, when they send the camera down your throat, they kind of give you this drying agent so that you don't, I guess, so you don't have like, spit everywhere on the camera and stuff, and they can see stuff. What is wrong with you, cat? Let's get to know our cat. Um, Hi. He's kind of hot from the introduction. So, I'm choking half to death because of this drying agent, and I said a very naughty word. And the nurse is like, it's okay, it's okay. But like for 15 minutes, they would not give me anything to drink. It drove me crazy. But anyway, so after a while, the gastroenterologist comes in and he says, have you been bleeding? This is like the second time he asked me this. He had asked me this before at the appointment, and the answer was no, I had not been bleeding at all. I mean, that I knew of, not visibly. And I still don't think I was at all. And I'm like, no. And he says to me, and I can remember just the way he says it. He says, there's something going on in your colon. And I'm like, what? And he says, I have a mass in there. And then he kind of rushes off. Like, he doesn't give me too much of a chance to, like, assimilate what he's saying and question him about it. So I'm sitting there, and there's a nurse beside me, and, as it starts to hit me what this could mean, I start crying. And, she says, you gotta be patient, or you gotta be positive about this. People get it, they get it cut out, and, that's that. And, for some, that is the case. Uh, so, I go out and I'm thinking, what's my mom thinking? Because, the surgeon will have talked to her, but she was pretty calm about it. Get home, I talk about this to my family and everything, and then it comes to just waiting for what the biopsy says, and I'm like, I'm gonna say that 900 times. I'll tell you that much right now. So it comes to waiting for what the biopsy is gonna say, and most doctors, I think nowadays, you can log into like my chart and get lab results before you even talk to the doctor. What are you doing on the table? Get your butt off that table, leaving little smooch marks. Whoa. Oh yeah, here I am in the bathroom talking. Speak of the devil, right? Let's ask about music. So I'm waiting for the results, and I'm logging into my chart, and I'm like refreshing every 5 minutes, and I'm like logging in every hour just to see if the results are in. And that Friday, the results came in, and I saw adenocarcinoma, and I knew anything with carcin in it is cancer. So, I go downstairs, I'm telling, my family, you know, it's cancer. And, my dad hugs me, and, I'm upset about it. I tell my grandma, and everything turned into a whirlwind then. Um, Look at my little notes here. So, yeah, he wanted me to get a CT scan of my abdomen to see, if there were masses anywhere else. And that was like right away, things started happening like right away. Like people, can you come into this appointment tomorrow? Can you make it here? by 3 o'clock today, things like that. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. The CT scan came back. I did not have any masses on my liver, thank God. Uh, so he tells me, okay, I'm gonna schedule you with this surgeon next week. This is like 1 week after finding out, and let's brush the kitty. He tells me he's gonna schedule me for this surgeon, and he gives me the surgeon's name, and I go home. And because I want everything to, um, have the best chances of working out great, I Google this surgeon and I read some reviews online, and some people liked him. Other people, they said he was negligent, this, that, and the other. So I was just like, no. So I logged into my insurance to see if there were any other surgeons that would be covered. And at um, the end of the list, there's this one surgeon's name, and he catches my eye. So I look him up and find reviews. What are you hiding under there for? I find some reviews, and he's looking pretty good to me. So I call right away, and I'm like, you know, I've just been diagnosed with cancer this week, and I've been given a surgeon, but I kind of prefer this guy, or your surgeon, which I'm saying to the receptionist. She's like, okay, can you come in tomorrow? And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I go in that next day, and uh, I talk to this new surgeon, and I get a good vibe from him. And my mom and dad were allowed to come in one at a time, and they kind of liked him too. So we decided to go with this guy. And so I called the gastroenterologist. I'm like, I'm gonna go with this surgeon. He's gonna take over my care from now on. And please tell the doctor thank you for his part in helping me find this out. So this new doctor, he's a gastroenterologist and a surgeon. Um, let's put our regular outfit on. Change outfit, home outfit. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I'm chubby. I'm not afraid of it. It's not the worst thing in the world. It sucks, let me tell you, but it's not the worst thing. Yeah. Let's talk to the kitty. I have got to build a good relationship with my kitty because she's everything to me. Play with the laser pointer. She goes crazy over that. Okay, so go into the next guy. He's good. He wants to do CT scans of his own, and of my liver and my lungs. That's where it usually goes to, colon cancer. I don't know if she'll let me kiss her yet. We'll pet her though. Scare. That's sick. What kind of a sick person does that? Okay, so he does the CT scans again. It's like right away. Bam, bam, bam. Can you make it this hour? Can you make it that day? And I go, and my liver's clear, my lungs are clear. I have an accessory spleen, if you can believe that. It scared the crap out of me because I'm thinking, what if this is like a freaking cancer tumor? But it's not. It's just a little extra spleen. Some people have them, some don't. But thank you, body, for doing that to me. And he also wanted to do genetic testing because I was so young. And I go to the hospital that he's affiliated with, and I talk to the geneticist there. And she sends away. She tells me it's going to be 2 weeks. The doctor was under the impression it was only going to be a week, but because she said 2 weeks, he rescheduled my surgery. And it's like into Thanksgiving. Yay. But I want this out of me. I don't want to wait, so I go with it. And the day comes, and because of COVID, only one person could go in the waiting room and wait with me and for me, unfortunately. So my dad went. and I go into surgery. And he was going to do it robotically, but apparently there was some problems with that, so he switched it to a regular surgery. So now I've got this huge scar going down my stomach. Yay. But that doesn't bother me. It's a battle scar, right? He does it, and when I wake up, I am in the worst pain I have ever been in my life. Now, when you go under anesthesia, apparently you can wake up in extremely bad pain because the anesthesia is like squeezing out of your body. Like it goes right straight through your cells. And I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was the surgery. I don't know what it was, but I am in the worst pain ever. It sucked. So, in tears, I look, to my to my right, and I look at the nurse. There's a nurse there on his computer. I look him in the eye, and I'm like, I don't think I can take this. And he says, every time we give you something for the pain, you fall back asleep. We can't do that because we want you to be awake. So, I'm horrified because, ouch, it hurts so bad. So I'm laying there trying to get through it. Aw, how cute. I'm laying there trying to get through this pain. It's horrible. And he goes away after a while, and I'm just laying there staring at the ceiling. And I'm hearing moans all around me, of other people in pain. Aw, let's read. Yeah, I like reading. That's not exactly reading, honey. So, yeah. So I'm hearing this guy next to me moaning in pain, and I'm moaning in pain, and I said another very naughty word. Sorry, that just seems to be my go-to when I'm in extreme pain. More choices. I want to talk to somebody. Is there anybody online? We'll chat with somebody. Oh, my baby. She's sleeping. Go to sleep in your bed, honey. So, yeah. Where was I? I'm in the worst pain. The guy next to me, and I say the naughty word, and his nurse says, she just dropped an F-bomb. And, so I kind of felt, embarrassed about that. I kept my mouth shut after that. So, time passes, it gets a little bit easy to bear. And, they finally say, I'm ready to go to my room. And the nurse says, that somehow my insurance paid for a single room. And I'm like, yes. I mean, not that I'm against socializing with people, but, I like my privacy too. So, yes, I get this single room. I don't know how my insurance covered that because they're just not the type. um, yeah, exactly. So I get wheeled out, and my dad comes to meet me, and immediately I reach for his hand because I want him to know that I'm okay, that I'm me, that I'm, you know, reasonably fine. And I hold his hand, and they tell me that surgery took, well, surgery and recovery took 12 hours. And I'm like, OMG. I was thinking, I went in at like 7 o'clock in the morning thinking I'd be under the knife at 8 and out of, and, in my room by like 1, 2 o'clock. But no, this was like 7 o'clock at night. And I'm shocked. But, so they take me upstairs to my room. Yay. And, what you doing, kitty? Where are you? Where's my cat? So they take me to my room, and Dad stays for a little while. And then, after he leaves, I'm not allowed to have any visitors at all. Not today, not tomorrow, not until I leave. Because of COVID. Thank you, COVID, for that. Um, oh, that sounds really good, mac and cheese. So, I'm not allowed to have any visitors. So, for the next 5 days, ouch, it's all me by myself, um, and the medical staff, of course, which were, pretty decent. Um, I'm chewing gum. They tell me to chew gum like 5 times a day because it like stimulates your digestive tract, and I'm learning to hate gum. Um, they tell me to walk around a lot, to get my body, going. And I'm walking around and I'm, sitting up in my chair and falling asleep in my chair, which I never do in real life. Oh, in real life. In normal life. Uh, it takes me, I can't fall asleep in my own bed hardly. But here I am falling asleep sitting up, sitting forward and sitting up. And, I'm watching Twilight. It was running, you know, the movies were running at that point. So, I'm watching Twilight and getting better, and they're waiting to see, if my colon is like recovering and working. So finally, uh, finally it starts to, show signs of recovery. Sorry, I'm scratching. I start to show signs of recovery, and they decide, that I can go home and finish recovering there. I was a little nervous because, you know, I was a little bit late. They expected me to be out within like 3 days, and it turned out to be like 5. What is this obsession with the toilet? Oh, yeah, great. So I go home and I start recovering there, you know, I'm sleeping, uh, sitting up half the time or all the time for a while because, I don't want to push on my stomach. I'm a stomach sleeper, and like you've just taken away the way I sleep. And it sucked, but I got through it. All right, quit me on at my butt. So I recover, and the thing now is to wait and see if my lymph nodes had any cancer in them. They took 35 out, and I keep logging into my chart again, and that's when I find out that yes, 11 of my lymph nodes had cancer in them. So now I finally get a stage. I'm stage 3, and it sucked. I did not want to be stage 3. I didn't want to go through chemo. If I had been stage 2, they would have just said, the surgery was enough, but it wasn't. So I start looking up statistics online, survival statistics for stage 3 and for stage 4, because, I'm scared at this point. What if? And, when I found out, I was sitting with my dad and my grandma, and, I was crying. I said, how am I going to tell mom about this? Because I didn't want her to worry. But I eventually had to tell her, and she was calm. I thought she was going to be a nervous wreck throughout this whole thing. I thought, but she handled it much better. Yeah, I know it's really fascinating to watch me fix the toilet. Why don't you go do something with yourself? Do some cat things. So, look at my notes here. So, yeah, lymph nodes. That means I gotta go see an oncologist. The surgeon gives me a few names, and again, I Google them because, I want to know who's doing what to my body. Uh, they seemed okay, but should Kenny banish this self-abuse and admit she dislikes handiness? I don't know. I don't, I like handiness, okay? Kind of. Kind of. I don't like tech support, but flush that toilet, woman, before you do anything stupid. Let's not clean it, though. We're too tired for that. Sleep. So where was I? Oncologists. In my searching around, uh, I had come across this article, and it was about this guy who had stage 4 cancer, and his oncologist told him that even stage 4 cancer can be cured. Um, and he proceeded to go and do just that for this guy. So, while those other oncologists, they seemed okay, I kind of wanted this guy because I wanted a believer, a guy who was willing to think, outside the box if he needed to, who believed it was possible, somebody that wasn't just, I wasn't just another textbook case. So I decided to make an appointment with this oncologist that helped this guy because by the grace of God, this guy was at the University of Michigan, which is only an hour drive away. Um, what time is it? 8 o'clock? Yeah, yeah. Are we having mac and cheese for breakfast? Yeah, that's about right. University, huh? Yeah. Let's go to university again and owe another freaking 100 grand. All those are eggs. So I make an appointment with this oncologist at University of Michigan, and that's macaroni and cheese. That's not eggs. And I like him. He gives me a very good feeling. So I tell him, yes, we're gonna go on proceed with treatment. Another thing in looking up statistics for stage 3 to live up to 5 years, I had a 40. Well, in general, the general statistic there is 40% will live to 5 years after diagnosis. And that's what I was expecting. And I was upset by that. But um, the oncologist plugged in my, like, the specifics of my case, like my age, how many lymph nodes were involved. That looks like a fun game. How many lymph nodes were involved, and different things like that. And he tells me I have a 70% chance if I don't, even before I have chemo. Just 75 or 70% chance just based on surgery alone. And I'm like, what? Because I had not expected that at all. And he tells me if I have chemo, then that will bump that up to 85%. So I'm like, heck yeah, I want that extra 15%. We'll do it. Um, he wants his own CT scans. I go through that again. He also does a PET scan, um, which is a little bit more, I guess, better for the lungs, I think. I don't know. They find nodules on my lungs, but both the surgeon and the oncologist tell me that people have stuff on their lungs all the time. It's very normal. Um, so it doesn't mean it's cancer. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that still made me extremely nervous. It still kind of bothers me sometimes, but I try not to let it. Let's clean this toilet because it looks nasty. So, yeah, it bothers me sometimes, but it bothers me less now than it used to. Uh, so he tells me, it doesn't mean it's cancer, yada, yada, yada. And he says, we're going to start chemo in January. And so what they have to do in my case is they have to install this port. And it goes in your chest and it accesses your arteries, I think it is. And it just makes it easier to deliver the chemo. And plus, I had to wear a pump home, which after each chemo appointment, it would deliver like 48 hours more of the chemo drug, which it sucked trying to sleep around that. Yeah, no, I'd be scared if I walked in myself on the shower too, honey. I do it all the time. So January comes, I get my port installed. Uh, Nurse tells me it's the Cadillac of ports. And I'm like, again, thinking, wow, my insurance is covering this. What, you want me to clean? Oh, you need a litter box. I forgot about that. Alright, I'll get you a litter box. I'm not a cruel person. Some people would beg to differ, but where do you keep litter boxes? I have to look around because I've got this stupid little setup. I might put a picture of it on Twitter. But anyway, there. Go pee. Shut up. So January comes, get my port installed, and chemo day comes. And, he told me to expect things like, fatigue, sickness, cold sensitivity, and numbness in the hands and feet. What else? Immune system would be going down, which, yay, for that during a pandemic. Gross. That's very gross, in fact. Um, yeah. And I have to go every other week to this stupid appointment. Well, life-saving appointment. And get my chemo and come back and suffer through uh, having a pump attached to me, which I had to remove myself because I didn't want to drive an hour just to have somebody remove it. So they taught me how to do it, and I did it. And things weren't so bad. I mean, it sucked. I'm not gonna lie and say it didn't. Uh, but mostly I would sleep for 5 days after each appointment, and sometimes I'd get a little sick, but I didn't really have to take my nausea medicines. Um, I lost 35 pounds. Don't ask me how, because I wasn't really all that sick. But, I know I look like I lost 35 pounds now, don't I? Uh, but, I did. Uh, Really what I hated was the taste. You don't think about that, when you're just a cancer noob. You don't think, oh, what's wrong, baby? You don't think about that, but it really tasted nasty. It infected like everything I drank, and because of cold sensitivity, what's the matter? I got you a litter box. Um, oh, you want some attention? Me too. But yeah, cold sensitivity. Like for 6 months, I had to drink warm drinks, mostly water, because that's the only thing that wouldn't taste horrible. Um, it sucked so bad. I learned online that if you ice your hands and feet, that kind of like helps your hands and feet not be so sensitive. So I'm doing this as well. The doctor's like, okay, yeah, we can do that. And so every appointment, I'm sticking my hands in these stupid ice buckets and my feet in ice, sitting there listening to music on my phone for like 2 hours, 3 hours, getting my blood taken every time. Um, my immune system never did, go down, which I'm thankful for. Uh, but around, what was it? I don't know, we're around 5 months into the thing, or 4 months into the thing, I got COVID. So here I am suffering chemo and COVID, and I'm thinking, God, is this gonna kill me? And this is gonna sound really weird and stupid, but in a way, I would have preferred the COVID kill me over cancer, because when they tell you you've got cancer and this thing is growing in your body, it's like a violation. It feels, you get kind of angry about it inside, and then and resentful towards it. So, I just had this goofy thought, of, you know, if COVID got me, at least the cancer wouldn't have. I know that's really stupid, as if cancer has feelings. But, when you're going through something so dreadful, stupid thoughts happen. Are you gonna eat or what, cat? I was asked my cat, you get a good meal? So I go through it for 6 months. Um, and what was it? 2 months, 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. Finally, chemo is over. I had to actually go an extra month because I missed a whole month because of that stupid COVID crap. Uh, that was no fun. I could not taste a freaking thing. Like, I bit into a McGriddle from McDonald's and it's just like cardboard. I would have never thought. But I lived through that, thankfully. And I lived through chemo. There were ups and downs. I was mostly okay. I had to do all of it by myself because of COVID. Every single appointment almost until the very end, until June. And then finally, the hospital let up and let me have one parent at a time come in to meet the doctor. So, I mean, they didn't even know who was treating me at this point. Uh, Only I did, and it kind of upset my dad that I had to do everything by myself. But I made it. Um, that cat is beautiful. Let me tell you, I'm a mombi. I will take pictures of that cat again and again and again. Same picture every day, every time. Should we get a job? I suppose we should do the right thing and get a job. Baby kitty sleeping. So yeah, 2.5 months ago, I got to stop chemo. Thank God I got to have a cold pop with ice in it. Let me tell you something. I had a dream about crying to my mom saying, it's so good. Because it was. Like, I can finally drink cold stuff. And things stop tasting nasty. Ugh. And, I don't sleep for a week again anymore. So after that, the doc wanted a CT scan again to, make sure that the chemo was effective and that nothing had, grown in the meantime. And those were clear. So I'm waiting for my next scan, which is in November. And for the next 2 years, that's kind of where we're going to be. Just scanning every 3 months to make sure that the cancer didn't move or, mastatize, I guess the word is, which would move me to stage 4. He said if it ever comes to stage 4, I probably won't get chemo. They'll just remove it surgically, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want chemo, but if I have to go through hell to survive, so that I'm surviving for my parents, so that they don't have to go through losing a kid, then I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes, and I'm gonna make it clear to him. But I'm praying it doesn't come to that. I don't know, what kind of job do we want? Scientist, that would be really fun. Entertainer, as if I'm entertaining, right? A writer. I used to want that, and Granny told me not to quit my day job. I can't believe she said that. She'd never read anything, but I think it was because she wanted to be a writer and she knew the odds of it are like slim. But let's do science. I like science. So yeah, for 2 years we'll do scans every 3 months, and they said from diagnosis, um, if the colon cancer is gonna come back, it usually comes back in 2 years. Now this is different for other cancers. And then I don't want to join the garden gnomes. This is different for other cancers. Like they told me breast cancer could be like 20 years, which is highly unfortunate. And after the so 2 years is when it usually comes back, and I'm already 1 year through that because it's from diagnosis. So thank God for that. And after that, then we'll wait until the 5-year mark. And if I make it to the 5-year mark, then I get to say goodbye to the oncologist. I'll move to every 6 months for the scans, and I'll get to say goodbye to the oncologist at 5 years, because they'll consider me cured. And I am praying like heck for that. Like my pastor's wife, she had colon cancer stage 3 20 years ago. She made it through. I'm just praying for the same thing. And I know, I've got family and friends that, it means a lot to me that they are also praying for the same thing. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't want to say I hope you enjoyed this video because, don't enjoy my suffering. But I do hope you take away some stuff. For one thing, don't ever assume and neglect yourself. If you're 45 and older, get your colonoscopies, your regular colonoscopies. Just do it. If you have some kind of symptom going on, even if it's small, talk to your doctor and do what your doctor says. And don't let cancer, sneak up on you like it did me. It could have been, if I had waited, who knows? If I hadn't waited, maybe I'd have been stage 2, which, turnabout, or, hindsight's 50-50, right? Let's see where that cat's gone. But yeah, just take care of yourself. Don't ever assume, just because you're young, that it can't happen. Recently a 13-year-old boy died of it, and I mean, that's not the norm by any means, but it's still possible, and you don't want to take that chance. So that's my story, and yeah, I will talk at you guys later. Hopefully I'll do more with the channel, and stream on Twitch. My name on there is Candy Sith as well. And yeah, me and the kitty, we will wish you we will wish you goodbye.